With 3 yards of fabric, you'll be able to make this beautiful summer dress. Hi, my name is Chinaza Victory and you're welcome back to Nazi Stars YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, you're highly welcome. To my returning viewers and subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for always coming back. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please, this is the best time to do that. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I will be making use of these 3 yards of Ankara fabric. The first thing I'm going to do is to show you how to fold the fabric. So when I open up the fabric this way, remember this is 3 yards of Ankara fabric. I'm going to be folding it right side facing each other, selvage to selvage. And the selvage is this part of the Ankara that has a right top. See the place that has that black paint or black mark? The part of Ankara that usually have a right top, that is the selvage. Okay, I'll fold it selvage to selvage. The two selvages will be meeting each other like this. Okay, then after folding it this way, I am going to pick it up from the top again and then fold it to meet the other part of the hem. Just watch to see how I'm folding it. I'll pick it up from this part now and fold it again. I'm going to be folding the entire 3 yards. I'll fold it to meet the other part of the tip of the fabric like this. Okay, after folding it this way, I'm going to make use of my iron to smoothen the fabric to remove all these folds. That's the first thing I usually do before cutting on any fabric. From the top of the fabric, I'll come down by 2 inches. This will serve as the elastic casing and also where the vertical measurement to be taken from. From this line, I'm going to measure and mark the length of the dress, but before I do that, I'll first of all calculate the chest line. And the chest line I'm working with here is 7.5. The formula for getting an accurate chest line is the bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So I'll be working with 7.5. Remember, this dress will be having a strap. Okay, now I'll place this 7.5 on top of this line before taking the length of the dress. So while the 7.5 is placed on that line, I'll go ahead and mark out the length of the dress and also the hem allowance. Before I proceed with the rest of the measurement, I'll first of all separate the front bodies from the back bodies. Remember that top was folded at the beginning, so I'm going to be opening it up with my scissors. I now have one fold for the front bodies and the other fold for the back bodies. On the line at the top, I'm going to be marking the shoulder measurement, and here I'll be making use of the full shoulder measurement. I won't divide the shoulder measurement into 2 like we normally do. So the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 15 inches. Starting from the folded part of the fabric, I'll measure and mark 15 inches. I'll come down to the hem and determine how wide I want this dress to be. So I'll be making use of the hip circumference, which is the largest part of the body measurement. The hip circumference divided by 4 plus 5 inches is plus extra 1 inch for the size seam allowance. Starting from the folded part, I'm going to mark whatever figure it gives. Okay, and it gave me 16 inches and I've marked 16 inches at that point. I'll proceed to connect the 2 marks using my straight ruler. The mark at the top of the fabric and the mark at the hem, I'll connect the 2 marks using my straight ruler. I'll go ahead and cut out following the line. I'll come to the tip of this line and place a little notch there. This will guide me when I am folding the elastic casing. Then I'm going to open up the front bodies and the back bodies. I'll arrange them properly and place it right side facing each other. I'll take it to my sewing machine and join the sides using 1 inch. I'll sew 1 inch to join the sides on both sides. Then I'll also go ahead and hem the down parts of the dress. Then I'll come back and show you the next thing to do. Before going to close up the sides, I actually forgot that I'll be adding an inner pocket to this dress. And for me to do that, I'll first of all attach the pocket before closing up the sides. So what I'm going to do now is to raise my tape by the same 7.5 inches that I raised it by while I was marking the length. I'll place that the chest line. I'll place it on that line. When I place 7.5 inches on that line, I'm going to be marking 17.5 inches for the pocket. That is where the pocket will be starting from. And I'll come to this other side and mark the same figure. I'll raise my tape by 7.5. That's the chest line measurement. Then I'll measure and mark where the pocket will be starting from, which is 17.5. I'll also use my scissors to place a little notch on these 2 marks. I've gone to cut out 4 pieces of fabric for the pockets, and the measurement is 10.5 inches by 8 inches. Then I'll proceed to place the pocket pieces on both sides of the front bodies and the back bodies, right side facing each other, starting from the 17.5 inch mark. I'll go to my sewing machine and sew 1 inch to attach the pocket pieces to the sides of the front bodies and the back bodies. I'll repeat the same process for all the pocket pieces. So this is the time to now go and join the sides of the dress. Okay, I'm going to sew 1 inch starting from the top of the dress this way. When I get to this part of the pockets, I'm going to corner. See the way I've already drawn the shape of the pockets using my chalk. Okay, you can do that or just sew at once. I'm going to sew this way, just the way I drew this chalk. I'll come out at this other part. I'll continue sewing till I get to the hem of the dress. After that, I'm going to fold this elastic casing. Remember the 2 inches we marked at the beginning? I'll fold it in this way. I'll first of all fold ½ inch, then fold the remaining parts to meet that line, okay, to meet with the 2 inches line. I'll do this, then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it round. But while I'm sewing it, I'm going to leave a little space where I will be passing the elastic into the casing. I will leave a space of about 1 inch where the elastic will pass through. I've cut out the pieces of fabric that I'll be using for the sleeve, or let's just call it the gather strap. Okay, I have this piece and I have the long one. I'll be gathering this long one to fit into this shorter one. I've done one part of the sleeve already, so I'm going to show you how to do it using the other 2 stripes of fabric. To know the length of the strap to use, you're going to be multiplying your chest line measurements by 2. Remember, I deducted 7.5 for the chest line, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. And this is the figure I used to cut out this particular strap. Okay, then the width is about 5.5 inches. And I've gone ahead to fold in like ½ of an inch on both sides of the long piece of fabric. Okay, look, I folded in ½ an inch on both sides. For this other piece of fabric, I made it very long because I'm going to be gathering it. I'm going to be making gathers to fit into this shorter one. Okay, and this is about 45.5 inches by length. Okay, then another thing I did was to hem one part of the very long piece. If you look at it, you've noticed that I've folded in one part of the feet of the long piece. I hemmed it. Okay, I finished up the hem and I left one part like that because the other parts that I did not hem, that's the part I'll be gathering. And the height, the wideness of this piece is about 5 inches after hemming. Okay, ensure to hem the two ends as well. Okay, this end and the other end. I'm going to make use of my hand needle to make gathers at the top of this very long piece. Okay, this is what it should look like after making the gathers. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come to this other straight piece. I'll come down by 2 inches on both sides, and on this other part I'll go up by about 2 inches as well. So this point I just made now, the gathers, when I'm inserting the gathered piece, it will start from that first mark and end at the second mark. This is to have some space to fix it into the main dress. I hope you understand. Now look at the way I'm going to be inserting it. I'll just fix in the gathered part into that straight piece while it is opened. Then I'll fold it back to cover the rough edge. I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to top stitch on top of it. Okay, now I have the two sleeves and they are ready to be fixed to the main dress. I have placed the dress on fold like so. Then remember when I went to sew in the elastic casing, I mentioned that we should leave about 1 inch where I'll be passing the elastic from. This is the place I left. I didn't close up all the space. I left a little space for the elastic to be passed through. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to mark out where I will be attaching this sleeve, or let's call it strap. From the center of the dress, I came in by 6 inches. Okay, and I placed a mark there. I flipped it over to the back side. I'm going to be marking the same 6 inches as well. Now that I'm done marking on the front bodice, I'm going to be marking the same figure on the back bodice. Starting from the center back, I'm going to measure 6 inches towards the left and 6 inches towards the right, making it about 4 marks, 2 for the center, 2 for the front bodice and 2 for the back bodice. So when you place one of the strap end on the front, you place the other one at the back where the mark is. Then you're going to take it to your sewing machine and sew on top of it. Mind you, when you're sewing, ensure to sew exactly at the same line where you stitched for the elastic casing. Okay, so that when we are inserting the elastic, it will not get stuck at some point. Please make sure you turn the dress inside out to the right side before attaching this strap or this sleeve, okay, to the chest line. Don't make the same mistake I made here. I changed it later off camera. Okay, I made a mistake and attached it to the wrong side of the fabric. Please don't repeat the same thing I did here. Attach it to the right side. Make sure that the right side is facing you before attaching it. After that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to insert the elastic into the elastic casing. To get the length of the elastic to use, measure the upper part of the center front. Whatever figure it gives you, you're going to use it to cut out the length of elastic. Then I'll come in with my safety pin. I'm going to be inserting this elastic starting from that little space I left while closing up the elastic casing. After inserting the elastic, I'm going to be tying the two ends of the elastic together. I will make a very tight knot there. Okay, I will tie it together, then I will take the dress back to my sewing machine and close up that little opening. So this is what it should look like by the time you're done with everything. If this video was helpful, please hit the subscribe button, like this video. Remember to drop a very nice comment below and share to your friends and your loved ones. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.